Now in this case, let's say that we are given the diameter of a circle, and let's say the question says that the of diameter of a circle is from, let's take any point, so let's just say it's from 1 comma 2 to 3 comma 4. So the points are given 1 comma 2 and 3 comma 4. So if this is my circle, let's say we will have the point 1 comma 2 will be somewhere here. So this is your 1 comma 2, and let's say this point is 3 comma 4. So this has to be your diameter. So this line will be your diameter. Okay, so now notice that जो इस लाइन का जो मिड पॉइंट है, that has to be your center of the circle. That has to be your center of the circle. So center coordinates, center coordinates are actually the midpoint of diameter. So now how will we find this? In order to find the center of the circle, we need to find the midpoint of this diameter. So जो midpoint का formula होता है, that we need to use, the formula for the midpoint is, the formula for the midpoint is x is equal to, the x coordinate of the midpoint is x1 plus x2 divided by 2, and for y coordinate of the midpoint it's y1 plus y2 divided by 2. So this is the formula, and now we can use this formula on these 2 points, and then easily we can find the center of the circle. So now let's use our formula for the midpoint. One point is 1 comma 2 and the other point is 3 comma 4. So let's just take this as x1 and this will be y1. So x1 is your 1 and y1 is your 2, and this will be x2 and this will be y2. So now we can use the formula. So the formula for the midpoint is x1 plus x2 upon 2. So that means this will be 1 plus 3 upon 2, which will become 4 upon 2, and this will be 2. And when we are talking about the y coordinate, so let's just add y1 and y2. So 2 plus 4 upon 2, and this will be 6 divided by 2, that will give you 3. So the points of the midpoint are, let's say the midpoint coordinates are 2 and 3. So 2 comma 3. And this has to be your center of the circle. This has to be your center of the circle. since this is the midpoint of the diameter. So midpoint of the diameter is actually the center of the circle. Now using this data, how can I find the radius of the circle? So what I need to find is the radius of the circle. So you must know that the radius is actually the distance from center to any point on the circle. So the midpoint, this coordinate is actually the center of your circle. So center of your circle is actually 2, 3. So this is the center of your circle. Now we can use any of these points. You can either use this point or you can either use this point. For both the cases, your answer is going to be same. So answer हमारा सेम ही आएगा. So मैं ये कोऑर्डिनेट भी यूज कर सकता हूँ और मैं ये कोऑर्डिनेट भी यूज कर सकता हूँ. So now what we can do is let's just try with this coordinate. So 1, 2. So now in order to find the distance, the formula for the distance between any 2 points is y2 minus y1 square plus x2 minus x1 square. So this is the formula for the distance between any 2 coordinates. So again we can use this, and let's say now this is your x1, this is your y1, this is x2, and this is y2. So now let's calculate the distance. So the distance will be, now y2 is 2 and y1 is 3, so 2 minus 3 square plus x2 minus x1 is 1 minus 2 square. So this will actually become 2 minus 3 whole square is 1 square minus 1 square plus this is also minus 1. So this will be under root. Now the square of minus 1 is just 1 and the square of minus 1 again is just 1. So this will be under root 2. So the distance is under root 2 and this distance actually represents your radius. So that means my radius has to be under root 2. Now we can also verify this using the coordinate 3, 4. So what I can do is that I can calculate the distance between 3, 4 and the center of the circle, and the center coordinates, that is, and the center coordinates were 2, 3. So let's now check this. So again I will use the formula for the distance. Let's just take this as x1 and this is y1, this is x2 and this is y2. So y2 minus y1, let's use the formula again. So this will be 3 minus 4 whole square plus 2 minus 3 whole square. So जो आंसर होगा again under root this will be minus 1 square plus 2 minus 3 is also minus 1 square. So this will give you under root 1 plus 1, that will just become under root 2. So again, it is proved that this is actually your radius. So this has to be my radius.